Go ahead.
Okay, our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents to become shining light parents by providing support and resources to aid in the healing process. We go a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and evidence for the afterlife in a non-dogmatic way. Affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background. Attendance today at this meeting is voluntary, and we are here for the benefit of learning from and sharing with other parents whose child has passed away. It is understood that our discussions are intended to be confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. However, these Zoom meetings are helpful to parents all around the world, and they are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members who are not able to attend this meeting live can also watch. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers to allow parents to be informed about many possible ways to heal, to connect with their children, and to learn about the afterlife. The views expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect those of Helping Parents Heal, and we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Amy, and thank you so much for being here tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We are so thrilled to have Amy here. She's always incredible, and we have such aha moments when she's doing her readings. Amy Uetzman is an accomplished medium, psychic, and teacher. When you have a reading with her, you can expect grace, humor, and down-to-earth style. Her readings are highly accurate, detailed, and empowering. She communicates with the other side in an organized way so that she can bring through multiple spirits and complex messages in each session. Amy is on a personal mission to raise the standard of ethics and professionalism in the mediumship field. She educates through free webinars, blogs, and YouTube videos. She raises awareness about the impact of a medium's level of development on both reading quality and the sitter's emotional safety. Amy has multiple certifications and has been a professional full-time psychic medium and teacher since 2009. Please learn more about Amy by visiting her website, www.amyuetzman.com. We have a special discount code for Helping Parents Heal, which is DC20, which is easy to remember. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming Amy Uetzman. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you, and thanks for having me again. I'm just always so honored to be here with you all and spend a little bit of time with you all. Please use the code DC20. I keep it vague because other people get the code as well. So that way I have no idea that you would be a parent or part of Helping Parents Heal. So that's why the code is set up that way, and you can use it anytime you're ready to book. So it's available to you. I just give you a heads up. I'm currently booking, I think, the last week of January, but don't share that out. Otherwise the calendar will be gone. So I wanted to briefly touch on a couple things because there are often two challenges that we all face. One is when it's coming time to try and sit and meditate or sit and get quiet in order to have a connection with our loved ones. So I just briefly wanted to go over a couple little exercises, and what we've done is we put them on a special page on my website that is hidden. So it's just for Helping Parents Heal, and we'll put it, I think Elizabeth said they will put it somewhere. And this way you can download the exercises. No need to give an email address or anything. This is just a giveaway. All right. I've used it at other grief retreats and it seems to work quite well. So, and then I'll do readings, my favorite part. So first I want to talk about what are a couple of things that get in the way of when we're trying to get signs or have a reading. Why does sometimes it not go exactly as smooth as we would like, right? Everybody take a deep breath. So everybody's a little stressed. Can we do one together? I can feel it. Everybody's like, How about we all do a deep breath together? Ready? 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Hold, hold, hold. And relax. There we are. All right, that's a little better because we're all into this together, right? So, of course, every medium wants you to be able to have a good connection with your loved ones, either through a medium. Ideally, frankly, we'd love for you to be able to develop that further with yourself as well. That is the best part. A friend of mine and always say, when they don't need me anymore, that is when we're the most excited. So it takes practice, it takes time, but there are a couple of things that we can kind of drop to try and get out of the way of that. So the first thing is expectation. That is the number one hurdle that we encounter. And of course, you want to hear from a specific individual on the other side. I mean, it doesn't, anybody that signs up for a reading, they want to hear from a specific individual. And yet, sometimes on the other side, they have their way of working. So they may connect with a grandmother before your child. And immediately you might start to feel a little deflated, right? But I think it's important that we understand and allow the spirit world to do it their way. They always have a reason. And we may not understand that a reason immediately, but by the end of the reading, it tends to come together. So for example, you might have somebody, an animal might start off the reading, or earlier today, I had somebody that had a really good sense of humor on the other side, and the sitter didn't know them that well, but they knew enough. And why did he start off with humor? He started us off with humor to kind of bring the tone down a little bit. So when her daughter connected, she was a little bit more relaxed, right? So understanding that there's a lot of complexity to it, and yet let's not make it overly complex. That makes sense. So you can see I get very excited about what I do, but I want you all to be able to just have these little moments where you say, okay, maybe I'm expecting too much right now, or maybe I'm expecting it to be a certain way, but you communicate a certain way and your loved ones communicate a certain way. So allow them to communicate their way. That is not going to change. So if you have somebody on the other side that is very analytical and you're very creative, they might not give you so many pictures, so you might not get a visual. You might get something when somebody's really analytical, sometimes they might put it into words or show you like, a license plate or something like black and white, so allow them to communicate their way. And the key is, please don't blame yourself. Don't think, what am I doing wrong that I'm not making this happen? Because we're good at that. You're not doing anything wrong. It takes a little bit of time and practice. So be gentle with yourselves, because they do want to connect with you, and they are connecting with you regularly. We may just not always pick it up. And I'll admit that's happened to me too. Okay. One day I thought, oh my gosh, my grandmother did something so big. I was like, I'm sorry. I haven't been paying attention. I'm sorry. So just give yourself a break. Try not to push against it, but think of it this way. They have their space and you have your space. So you're here in the physical world and they're here in the spirit world. And if we're going too hard to reach, what we're actually doing is actually pushing it away when we want to be a little more welcoming. okay? So try not to have too many expectations. You want accuracy in a reading with a medium. That is an expectation you want to have for sure, okay? May they give you the code word? Maybe not, but you definitely want to have at minimum 80% that resonates with you. So that should be the one expectation you have, all right? Within a reading space, logistics, okay, we're not going to focus too much on that here, but that would be technology, distractions from outside, you know. I mean, we're always going to have a knock on the door. We're always going to have kids or a dog. Inevitably, it happens. That's okay. But setting yourself up ideally, because this is your time. This is your time for yourself and for your loved ones. So do whatever you can to treat it as such. If you've made an appointment and something has come up last minute, I know most mediums will say, okay, we'll get it rescheduled so it's an ideal setting. All right, because everybody wants the best for the scenario. I had somebody call me from the emergency room. I can just go in the car. I had to bring my husband in. I was like, no, you know, you take care of what you have to take care of. I will get you in, not to worry. All right. So that's, and then the last thing we want to think about is your readiness. We have to be ready because, look, we want to hear from them immediately. And yet we're in such a protective place of grief that even though somebody is telling you about signs, you're not in the space to hear it. It doesn't mean that they're not giving it, but you might not be able to pick it up. So again, honor your grief, be gentle with yourself, okay? And over time, as you adjust a little more, because we don't get over, but as you adjust a little bit more, then you'll start to pick up things. All right. So that document is there on the website for you. It's free for you guys to have there. This one other thing, I'm not going to spend too much time, okay, because I know we want to get into readings and somebody's already pushing on me. So I created a little exercise that's very easy to do. It's very self-explanatory. It's right there. And it's called your bag of distractions. So life is full of them, right? And listen, your distractions are always going to be there. But for you to set up the ideal scenario for yourself, I'm going to sit and hope that I have a little space right now that maybe my son or my daughter will visit with me in this time. I'm just going to put that space away, right? Or for reading, this is my time, this is my space. So what can we do to kind of get these distractions out of the way a little bit? Pretty easy, a very basic exercise. You write them all down on each on a little strip of paper. And then you put them in a little bag or a little box, and then you put it away from you. That's important. Away from you, at least a foot away from you, because that is going to get it out of your auric field. So on the floor, but away from you, right? And then either you sit in your little bit of a meditative space, or you say, well, I'm here to visit. I would love it if you would come. Keep it very invitational with the other side. Not, I need you. They already know that we need them. You know, invitational. And then when your time is over, well, your distractions are always going to be there, aren't they? So these are just two little things that we've put on a special hidden page for you. And I know they're going to put it, I think, in the Facebook group and somewhere, right? So you guys have access to it. All right. So just wanted to touch on these little, tiny ways to help improve your way of getting signs and understanding a little bit of spirit communication a little bit. Okay. Excuse me, my voice is going down today. So I don't know, I'm not sure why, but I'm just drinking a little bit of tea so I can have it through the rest of the time. It's kind of kicking out rather quickly, isn't it? I hope you guys found that just that brief little talk helpful, but it's there for you to download. Okay. So practice, practice, practice. We don't develop these things like this. You know, it's taken me years to develop, and any medium will tell you that, you know, it takes time, but with regular practice, it starts to happen. And then when it happens, then it'll happen again. And then when it happens again, then you start to develop a two-way dialogue. And that makes it limitless. I promise you. It's in every single one of you. Okay. There's no, I'm not special. I'm just different with a lot more practice. Okay. So each one of you has that ability. All right. Ooh, I just feel so much love and excitement for you guys tonight. So, all right. I think, yeah, I think we're probably ready to do some readings now. So good. All right. Now, as I get started here, just a reminder, if you can take at least 80% of it, then, you know, put your hand up, or you have to be able to take at least 80%.
Type in the chat box if that's okay with you, Amy.
Yeah, and the chat box is fine.
And just let us know if you think it pertains to you. And thank you.
Okay. All right. Yep. Just give me 1 second, because I have a couple coming in at the same exact time. So we want to. All right. So I'm hearing from a younger woman here. When I say younger, I want to say that she would have been like in her early or medium, early to middle 20s. And always going at the speed of light. I mean, move, 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 move. This person is extremely busy while she was here. She's telling me that she has a sister that's here as well. So I know that she has a sister here in the physical world as well. They kind of look alike. She said, but their personalities couldn't be any more different. I know mom is on the call for sure, because she says that's who she's trying to reach out to. She's not big on talking about her transition, and I don't feel like everybody needs to. That's up to them, frankly. But she says that she's talked it. So it's been talked about quite a bit. I need more from her though, don't I? Because that's not enough. I'm getting the name Kathy here, but I feel like Kathy might be here in the group. I don't feel like that would be her name. I'm not particularly great with names, but Kathy is the name that I'm hearing. Or you could be called Kat, like K-A-T. Is that a little bit resonating with anyone here?
Nothing yet, Amy.
Nothing yet. Okay, that's fine. I did say somebody put daughter, sisters, or something.
Yes.
I missed that.
Priscilla said, could be my daughter. Her sister's name is Cassie.
Ah, okay, that would be fairly close for me since I'm a failure on names. Yeah. Can we bring, who's it, Priscilla? Can we bring Priscilla so I can see her?
I've asked her to unmute. Hi, Priscilla.
Okay. Hey, come here.
Hello. Hi there. And we also have somebody else.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, Priscilla. How are you today?
I'm good.
Okay. Does everything, I mean, I didn't say a lot, honestly, but did that all resonate with you?
It does.
Okay. And the busyness with her.
Yeah, she was always busy here.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And it's funny because you said Kathy, and her grandma used to we call her sister Cassie, and her grandma used to call her Kathy. She used to think you were saying Kathy.
Okay. All righty. All right. Thanks for that. All right, let's go then, because we're definitely here with you. Now you would understand, because now here we go. We're going all fire with her. So, you know, let me talk fast, but I want you to interject if it doesn't make sense. Okay. Because if it's a no, it's a no. But candles, she doesn't like candles lit in her honor. So I'm not sure who's doing this with the candle here, but she feels like I wouldn't light candles for myself, so why would they light candles for me? So she's a little bit, I don't want to say like too strong of an attitude, but she likes her way, but she does it in a diplomatic type way, if I could say it that way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And look, I understand it. It's part of a ritual that we will do here. But for her, the candles, no, she would rather have her photograph kissed, which does happen. And somebody actually left lipstick on a photograph by accident. And then she said they were worried about getting that off, so you know about this, right? The lipstick on the photograph. Okay.
Yeah.
And she says that I would much rather have things like this. Now, I need to embrace you both. Dad is here too. I did hear a male, right? There's two of you. He's very dark. Okay. I need to give Dad a knock on the head. Okay. Like, bam, because he's not always listening. So, hi, Dad. So
Hi.
I need to give you a knock on the head because she says that you keep saying to Mom, well, how come you get everything and I'm not really getting so much? And she says, don't say things like that because we have our own relationship. So, okay, so she's trying to, how would I say it? She's trying to make sure that that relationship just between the two of you is real. And so she says, I'm not trying to blow up your world, okay, but we have a special thing going and I want you to know about this, that I'm getting it. And she loves how you speak with her because I know we're giving secrets out a little bit here, Dad, because it's just a relationship with you and her, but she's doing it. So, and she loves how you speak with her because she says, that's my dad. He doesn't talk to me as though I've changed one bit. And I know that she would like to tease you. And that's the best part. And so she says, you just keep it up. You keep it up and I will keep your secrets. So even though she shared just a little bit here, she just wants to make sure that you know that is real. All right. And it's okay to be emotional, but you guys have a great rapport. And so build upon that. Okay. Build upon that. All right. Now, sorry, Dad. Now we're going to go back to Mom. And I think we have a sister here. Is that as well? Is that correct? Okay. So we have a family affair. I love it. You guys don't play board games anymore, she says. So she's showing me like board games, right? Because she says you don't play them anymore. And she says, well, I can help you play, but if I move the pieces, it might freak you out too much. But I want to be included in this board game, And so she says, she's funny. She says, just have like a spot for me. And then if you can play like me, then I'll always win like I always did anyhow.
Yeah.
So let me just give you that amount of love for her. And sister here, I'm sorry, what's your first name, please?
Cassandra.
Okay. Cassandra, from your sister here, you are to stay on your path and not turn your back. Okay. You're to stay on your path. You've got this. She says, you've got the strength. I'm giving you the strength. She loves you so much. It's okay if you wear some of her clothes, even if they're too big. She doesn't mind it. Okay. Because she says, one day you'll fill in and grow like me. And she says, that's not such a bad thing, is it? All right. So stay the course. Okay. Stay the course. Let me give all three of you so much love. And I'm glad that all three of you were here so she could acknowledge all three of you. So a lot of love to all of you guys. And you can just say to her, like, I need to light a candle for myself. And then she'll be fine with that. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All the best to all three of you. She's fantastic, this one.
Thank
So,
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Goodness gracious. Oh, okay.
She moves fast. Let's hope they all move fast like her because they keep me on my toes like that. I love it. All right. Where are we heading now? Okay. Yep. That's it. Okay. All right. I have a little boy. Okay. So he's a little boy. I had to put an age to him. There was a turning of events around the age 4. So he's little guy, but he makes himself out to be bigger than he was. Okay. So I just know by how he's presenting, boy, is he cute. He says that everybody wanted to do this to me. So squeeze his little cheeks. So he's very cute. But part of this thing that he's doing is not like pretending to be necessarily bigger than he was when he was here. And he does say this is an accident that happened with him. Okay. He does this because he says, I was older than my years. That's what he's saying. So this bigness. And I know that this was an accident because he's telling me that this was an accident. And I just feel that I can feel an impact. Okay. So I'm getting that impact with him. And he says, I don't blame anybody though. Oh my goodness. He's so sweet. Can anybody take this young boy? It's been a little bit since he's transitioned. Yes, no, no one?
Can anyone take this? I'm just finishing the last
Yeah,
bit of information. Let's see.
it's gonna be younger. It will be younger than 16. I can see him at 4. He could have been a little bit older, but it's definitely younger than 16. Let me see. I saw.
At 9. There's one that's 9 per Nima.
Here's what's important here, everyone, is the quickness in passing. So I know it wasn't necessarily instant, but it was like right about there. And there would be an impact here.
I think
So
it's Shelley. I believe it's Shelley, and Shelley has
Shelley
put
says-
something in there.
she says it's not the impact, but you know more about this, Irene, apparently.
Well, the age definitely fits.
Uh-huh. And Jonica, do I say that right?
Had an impact.
Okay, the only other way this would fit if you said, who was it, Shelley?
Shelley.
Would be if there was like a brain issue, because there's something with the head here. Definitely getting ahead. Janica. Hold on, Purnima, hold on. Janica, I hope I'm saying your name right. Can you give an age, please?
Her
So,
son
oh.
had head injury, Jenica, but 16.
16. Okay, let's look at Callison.
Callus.
Okay,
Okay.
Mhm.
Can you unmute her?
sure.
Thank you.
Because we're getting closer to this, Callison.
Okay, Kelsey.
Callison. Hello. Where are you? Oh, hi there, my dear. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. All right. So with your little guy, okay. With your little guy, is it right by what I'm getting here from him that it's like we tried to save him, but we could not? I'm sorry to be like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And he says that he's thought of as a superhero to many people, he says, because that's the way that he says it. So I know in his little mind, I don't want to call him so little though, you know, on the other side, they don't grow in age chronologically, but he says, he's telling me that you've seen him. And he says that also I go into the dream. So she doesn't only see me going through the house, I can practically hear his little feet, patter, patter, patter. So sometimes you must have that sound like you swear you've just heard him. And he says, but that's me. And it's not only visit dreams though that he's talking about, like you would have had to have, like you swore you saw him and then you didn't. Is that right?
Well, I see him in meditation often.
Okay. Because it's not only the dream state, but there also has to be another incidence of where you swore you saw him and then you didn't. Yes, no? No. Uh-huh. Is it right that, if I can say it this way, is it right? There was another pregnancy that didn't come? Yes, no? I can't hear you now. I can't hear you. Oh, you're on mute. I'm losing you. I cannot hear you. There you
I
go.
don't know how that, I'm sorry, I don't know how that
Okay.
happened, but but you asked about another pregnancy.
Pregnancy
Yeah,
that did not come.
that's right. Yes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure with you, is there so far, because I see a couple other people saying some things, is there anything you cannot relate to aside from you that seeing thing where he said you
The head injury, like we actually don't know how he passed. If he
okay, so I'm really sorry, but we have to know this because that is what's really significant here, but thank you. But this is okay, all right. And listen into what other people say, but this is why it's really important. And this is a boy.
I think it's Shelley, Amy. I really
Okay,
do.
all right, let's go to Shelley.
Hey, Shelley, do you want to unmute?
Hello. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Shelley, how are you? You okay? Hold in, sort of. Okay, all right. Irene must know more things than I know, so, all right. But he would be young, your little guy.
He was 3.5.
Okay, all right, that's good enough for me. Okay, all right. And there's so many things done for him, he says, since he's transitioned, because it's not just like a ceremony. He says that I'm all over and they're always including me. So I know there's many things that have been done for him, right?
Yes.
And he says, even my name, it's like they're putting my name out there as well. And right. And he says, and sometimes money goes with that name. So I take it you're doing some kind of donation with his name, correct? Because I like how he, yes, no?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay. All right. Now, he would call you mommy, right? Because, right. I'm not going based on your accent, but I can hear him saying mommy, like when he wants something, when he's trying to be sweet, mommy. So it's almost like, kind of wanting to, I don't know, manipulate you, get my way, if you will, because that's the way that he does that, right? And I know, of course, Shelley, that you're not going to not feel broken, all right? And yet, it's really important that he passes on here that he says that he was held immediately. So I'm not talking about here. I'm talking at moment of transition. He says, I was held right away and I didn't feel anything, And he says, all I could do is look around and, that I had to give each family member a hug. And he says, but that's where the chills came, So he had his own way of going from person to person to person. Now there is a grandmother, I believe it'd be like your grandmother, that there's a grandmother that has held him. And it's important that we acknowledge her as well, because she says it will help you understand how he could go from person to person, because in your mind, you're thinking of him as the little boy, right? But in the spirit world, he's very much free to be himself. Okay, like he doesn't have to be a little boy, but your grandmother with him, she says that she wants you to know that she's helped him go from person to person. So when those chills came, he says that you thought the chills were because I can't take anymore. And he says, but no. The chills were to give you that hug. And it's the kind of chills where you feel like you are cold to the bone. You understand? It's like nothing will warm me up. And so he says, but I want you to take that as me being all over you, because he says, I miss her laugh. and I miss her silly stories. And he says, you know, she laid down and she tried to tell me a story since I've been here. And he says, I love that. And it's okay if you get tears through that. But he says, but I like stories. And
I
she
read to
still
him every
does them.
night.
Oh man, that's
Every
so
night.
sweet, Shelley. So he's knowing this, okay? He's getting them. And it's a beautiful visit time with the two of you. And he says, you won't let anybody else in. And you're afraid that maybe I'm being selfish, but he says, this is our time together.
Yeah.
So he treasures it as much as you do. All right. But he's got such a great imagination that he says, now when you tell the story, he says, I can see the whole thing. You must be a very good storyteller, Shelley. So I love how he's showing this. I wish I could show you the picture he shows me, but it's like the words coming off the page because you still read it with the same emphasis as when he was here, you know? And so just if you could, and he says, oh, she still scooches over for me too, like I need room. And so keep doing that because he's taking it, you know, he absolutely loves it. And he says there will be a time where you won't feel the need to do those stories, but that will be okay. He says that means that we've just grown to a different stage. Okay. But you know, he's never going to leave your side ever. Okay. Don't worry about that part. He says, it's not like I'm going to be a man that needs to shave and go off and leave my family. So, yeah. So if you can take that chills in from him, it's not a bad thing. It's his version of a hug. Okay. Now you understand there's some missing crayons or colors, crayons or color pens, like pencils. It's not pencils. It looks like crayons. There's some missing in the box. Okay. He says the ones that are missing are his favorite ones. So it's a sign from him that he's pulled out his favorite ones. So he's telling you about one of his signs as well. Okay, because he likes color, but he's also very particular about how he likes things for such a young person. So, you know,
he would always take out his favorite colors. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So look in those boxes. There's a couple missing with his favorite colors. All right. Okay. Not to worry about the other people around you. He says you do that too much, but I'm also watching out for them. Okay. He says, you just sit with me as long as you need. I will help take care of you. So beautiful young man. I know that I haven't identified your grandmother, but this is the grandmother on the mother's side is the one I'm seeing, correct? So, and she likes tea.
Don't know.
A little cup. It might be like even smaller than that. So, but I see her with a little cup. So she's there. She wants you to know that she's watching out, and she wants to make sure that you don't worry about what anybody else has to tell you to do. Okay. You just do what you know is right. All right. Okay. Hang in there. Okay.
Yes. Just very, very, very briefly.
Sure.
An hour before you came on, I was telling my partner that I was going to watch you. And I said, oh, I really like Amy because she's no nonsense and says, you know, sometimes it is just a flicking light. And I like that. And then I kid you not, an hour when we get the buzz to say in an hour, the Facebook event's going to happen, our light started flickering. So,
good job. What a good job. I'm so happy for you that he did this. So, you know, and this was great because you invited him and he came.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Amy.
You are welcome, Shelley. Thank you so much. And you guys take good care of yourselves, but he's the man. Okay. I think he's just pretending to be the little boy still. So, all right. All the best to you, my dear.
Oh, that was beautiful. Oh my goodness. So glad for Shelley as well. Oh,
yeah. I know sometimes they're so emotional, these kids, right? Wow. Okay. All right. So I've got there's a gentleman here. Now he's a little bit older because he's saying that he was going to get married. So I feel like he didn't get married yet, but he was in a relationship that he was going to get married, he says. So definitely can see the ring with him. I feel by what he's giving. So again, we're dealing with an unexpected transition, but it feels like an undiagnosed issue. So this wouldn't have been his doing or anything like this, because yeah, this is an undiagnosed issue is what he's telling me. So very lively guy. He's a kind of guy that makes sure that everybody has what they need. He's that kind of guy, that he's like that. So he's a good man. He's a good man. He's laughing at this because he thinks that when he hears good man, it makes him sound older than he is. But he's definitely a man in age.
Nancy's saying my son passed in May, getting married in September. It was undiagnosed.
There we go. It has to be that.
It does. Okay. And then Dixie is also saying my son was undiagnosed, planning to get
Engaged, I think she's trying to say.
engaged and very kind. So
This person was already engaged. Like he
Okay.
had the ring. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to ask Nancy to unmute?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Nancy. Wait, you look
Hi.
familiar.
You read, my son came through to you from you 6 months ago on this thing.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I'm always reintroducing myself to people, but you look familiar. All right. Well, lucky you. I guess he trusts me, but I'm understanding from him that it's been a difficult time for you, because he says that you needed another boost. So and so he says that, well, I just have to do that job because she doesn't always listen to me anyhow. He says that she says, thank you, I get the voice, and then she does her own thing anyway. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, so you see what he's trying to do here is he says that you raised him to be open-minded, but you're stubborn. So how can he try to give you a boost if you are being stubborn? Now, I know some of the things that he's talking about here. We won't go into detail with them because there's some very difficult decisions to be made, he says. And he says that he wants to encourage you to know that a lot of what you're concerned about are not real things to worry about. Okay? Because he says that you're making them to be big distractions, but he says, but why? But why?
Well, it's about my other son.
So he gives me not as much concern around the other son that you're experiencing.
Oh, that's wonderful. Welcome news.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, because he says that don't worry, like he's taking care of him. All right. And he says to let you know, again, he's very focused on you, Nancy. So I know we'll get a little bit more about that other son, but he's very focused on you, because he says that when he gets annoyed, he's just like, I have to repeat myself. You're not listening. So when he gets annoyed, I mean, I feel like that's about as big of an outburst as we're going to get. You know, he stops himself and then he's like, all right, let me try again. So again, his thing is don't make it bigger than it is, because he says that it's a very distraction thing. He says this is causing distraction. And he says that you're not able to see the real steps you need to take. And he says sometimes some of the steps we need to take are just hands off. Okay. He says just hands off. He says it's okay. He's making some of the changes. The son here is making some of the changes he said he is. You just can't see them yet. You understand this? All right.
Thank you so much.
And so he says you need to give him a lot of rope. Okay. You can't give him a shoelace, but a lot of rope to make his own little ways with things. All right. And don't worry, the son here, he says, I'm the good-minded one, so you just listen to me, okay?
He was.
Still is. So let's always think of them as still, because they're still living, right?
Oh, I feel him all the time, so I do
Yeah,
believe that.
but then try to listen to him too, Nancy.
Okay.
Okay.
It
As
is
much
hard
as
to
you
quiet the
can.
mind. It's
It
hard
is.
for me to quiet my mind.
It is very hard for us to quiet the mind, but he's giving it to you in such a way that it seems undeniable. And I just feel like he's giving you, everybody gets junk mail, right? But we get something and we think that's odd. Like, why would I see a piece of mail about a program that could benefit someone else when there would be no other tie to it? You understand? Because he's showing me like this, and he says, I'm just telling you that I'm helping with availability. It's not to sign up for a program.
Okay, I'll keep my eyes open. I'll be more
Thank you.
open-minded.
Because he says there's so many different avenues that we, meaning the other side of the spirit world, can help shift people. And it doesn't have to be just one way.
Okay.
All right. So allow them to do a little bit of what they're doing.
Thank you so much. I needed these words of encouragement today.
Good. Well, he broke through, and I know there's some other people that have a little bit of piggybacking in there, but I think it's important for everyone to listen to all of that, because when there is piggybacking, that means that you're all intended to get the similar message, but the person on the other side will say, boom, that's who I'm with, and that's how I know where to go. Okay. But thank you, Nancy, and thank you for all of the other ones.
Thank you so much.
Writing in here. So I appreciate all of you.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. All the best. Okay. Everybody doing okay?
Yes, that was beautiful. Thank
Amazing.
you.
Okay. I think we can do one more here?
Yeah, I think we have time for one more, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine with me. All right. Let's give it a second to shift gears here. Mhm. I'm smart, I'm laughing, I'm sorry. Because I have like a younger woman, like I'm gonna say late teenage, early 20s, who's chewing gum. She's always chewing gum. Just popping the gum, chewing gum, pop gum, like and so that's the very first thing I'm seeing with her. She does admittedly say that she was maybe a little bit too sassy or too smarty pants for her own good, because she says her mouth got her into trouble. So her words sometimes would get her into trouble. She does say her actions, like she went down the wrong path. And so her actions took her down this road towards the other side. I do feel that there's some substance involved here. So that's where we'll start.
So Amy's saying, sounds like my daughter, substance sassy. Okay, possibly Amy Godwin. Let's see.
The gum has to be kind of a thing with her.
Is
Amy.
a thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
the chewing a gum, like it's kind of a thing with her.
Oh,
Oh, you're a major gum chewer. Okay, so that's funny.
10-20s.
Mhm.
Does that sound like it could be that?
Yeah,
Long
all day long chewing. Okay, all right.
I've asked
Okay.
her to unmute.
Yeah,
Amy.
let's come, Amy. That's funny. Okay.
Hey.
Where are you? Oh, hi, Amy. Amy.
You're talking to her like, just pop in just to say hello.
You were talking to her. Okay.
You're so mean, but I'll talk to you later. So who knows?
But you understand everything tied to her as well, going down the difficult path, her mouth getting her in trouble, right?
Oh yeah, she's a little bit of a sass, but smart mouth is
Yeah. Okay, that's all good. All right. Okay. And she still carries that attitude to the other side, but she says, but they still try to, how is it now? Put her in line, but you know how that goes. So she doesn't, she's just a person that she had to find her way and she didn't quite yet. And so this is where I know some of the personality comes from with her, is just pushing the boundaries to find my way. And then we didn't quite get there. And I need to send an apology to you from her, okay, and to the family, because this is deep. She really absolutely needs to apologize, because she says that, look at them. They still love me so much, and they don't judge me. All they keep saying is, why didn't you talk to us more? And she says that I got lost. Okay. And so the apology, she says, I need to say, I'm sorry that I left this way and caused you all so much trouble in my transition, because she says it was a lot of trouble that came with that. And she says that was a lot more than I would have ever known. But I also don't feel like she knew she was going to transition at that time, because this is accidental. It's a mixture of things, right? And so she didn't know. And she says, I cannot believe I put my family through this. So this is a big apology from her. Now, that being said, she's not like suffering on the other side or anything. Okay. We don't have judgment over there. I think most of you by now know this, right? So we don't have judgment over there. She says, but they did put me in school. Okay. They put me in school. And she says that I thought I could get my graduation hat the other day, but not yet. So,
Shortcut.
What's that?
Always taking a shortcut.
Yeah, so not quite complete yet, but she's joking about it. And the thing is she says that you'll be happy to know, for once I'm listening, because I want to understand the ways I went wrong. What did I not see? What did I not get? And a part of it is, this is not of the family's doing at all, but part of it was I didn't know how to take love in the right way. I was always going the wrong way.
Absolutely true.
And so this is I just didn't know how. Okay. So, and she said, I would like to say I was young and innocent, but I really wasn't. So, so it happens to us, and so she really wants to issue that apology. She also says that enough about ever feeling embarrassed about how I died and what people think you didn't do, meaning the family, because I know some people have been separated from you that said some things after she transitioned, like friends or distant people, not family, because of what she's showing here.
They must be keeping it to themselves, because I'm thankful I have a supportive, close family, but I'm sure they thought I should have probably had a better grip on her, but you don't grip her.
Right. And it's not family she's talking about, to be clear. Okay. She's also saying that she couldn't be any more proud, because she says that at her service, you held your head up high. And she says, and you sat there stoic and proud. And I didn't know how you did it. And she says, but look, my mom sits up stoic and proud for everyone in my family, so they could have their moments. So just make sure you have your moments as well. All right. Make sure. Okay. Now, listen, she's got some kind of fancy car over there that she's always wanted. Okay. This thing is like fast. It's got this engine. I can't make the noise,
That's so bad. Yeah.
But like, she's like revving around in this thing. And so she's having a great time on the other side. There's a gentleman that somebody's been concerned about. So somebody's father that somebody's been concerned about, and her father here.
Most likely her father, yeah.
Yep, okay. She says that I can't help him if he won't open his eyes.
True.
Okay, and she says that I'm trying to, But she says, well, maybe this is where I get it from.
Yeah, he's an alcoholic.
So,
Yeah.
so she can't help him, but she's also, I mean, she's doing her best to connect with him, but if he won't do what he needs to do, and she says that you can't stop him from his own path the same way you couldn't stop me. Okay, so she's not asking you to do anything, but she's being very protective of you because you've received a lot of hurts over the years. And so, and she's sorry that she's been a part of that. Okay, I know, but
I
she
wish
said,
she would keep apologizing every time she comes through, but
well,
so
that's
it's what they need. It's what they need.
it's what they need. That's what she needs. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's what
I'm-
she needs. And one day she won't.
Good.
Really, one day she won't. But you see, since she's talking about getting some, more teachings and things, then at some point she won't, but she's funny. I mean, I thought I was going to get my graduation cap, but that's up to her, as well, to go along further with that. So that's really it's a good thing that she's doing that, Now, interestingly enough, she just showed me like a puppy. So, if somebody's thinking about getting a puppy,
It would not be me.
no, I know. I want to go just away from you. So like a sibling of hers or somebody else in the family thinking of getting a puppy.
If her brother is thinking about getting a puppy for his son, her nephew, then he has not told me.
All right, because she's showing me a puppy come this way, so coming in here. And but again, this would be her. She's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make it so they can't turn her head because yeah, that's funny. Now, one other thing here, Amy, is I don't know why she says this, but sometimes a picture of hers gets turned around. And so it's like they should be fine, but then there's one that gets like turned around. So there must be an area with like a little bit of a collection of pictures, right? One of them gets turned around. So, okay, so watch for that because she says it's not her favorite. That's why it gets turned around.
Okay, I've got a few up. Yeah, I've got a few out, and I noticed one of them in particular is like starting to bend a little bit, like it's going to flip around.
Okay, well, that's the one.
It might be it, and it might be the one.
All right, I feel the need to say a happy birthday here too. So I take it there's a birthday here as well. So
He's coming. He's got a birthday next month. He'll be 4.
okay, well, let her wish the happy birthday while she can. And I give you a lot of love to you and your family, okay?
Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. All the best to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Nadia is asking why her son never comes through. I just want to remind everyone that these kids are all working together to bring through these messages. And the kids who are not coming through are helping the other ones to get forward because they know that their parents are needing these messages just as much as Nadia is as well. But they work together, they are here together, and they love all of us so much. They love your son loves you so much, Nadia. And anyway, I just want to remind that a message for one person is a message for all of us because it shows that our kids are here, that they are happy, healthy, and whole on the other side, and that they're actually separated from us by a thin sheet of wax paper. They are so close to us. So anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt like that. Go ahead, Amy.
No, it's beautifully said. And sometimes we have somebody maybe on the other side that they were very private. They're just a very private individual and they don't always maybe connect in groups. So I've had that happen. Just sometimes it could be like that as well, but also it might come down to who they choose as the right medium for them as well. So that's important as well. But yeah, there's lots of things, but I think Elizabeth said it beautifully. So.
Well, thank you. And I wanted to just tell everyone that did get a reading, if you would like to send me an email at elizabeth@helpingparentsheal.org with a picture of your child, I'd love to include this in the newsletter. I did try to private message people. I didn't get to everyone who did get a reading, just because this is so helpful to other parents to hear about it. Sometimes things come out that you're not even able to talk about, because mostly it's just Amy who's talking. So it's always fun to read about that in the newsletter. And again, I will make sure that I put a link to all of the downloadable forms that Amy has talked about this evening. And if you wanted to just wrap up maybe with 2 minutes or so, and then we can have everybody unmute and say thank you and goodbye.
Yeah, sure. So I want to thank everybody for listening. It's an honor for me to be able to do readings, regardless of how or where. It's always, I get very excited, but each one of you, it's just very important that you really respect yourself within your space where you are in the adjustment of your path, because everyone is different, and we all do it differently. So it's lovely to see so many here that you're taking the opportunity to get support. You're not alone in this journey, and be gentle with the self. That is the main thing.
Well, everyone is thanking you, and they were thrilled to be able to hear the validations that you did bring through, and we truly appreciate it. We will definitely have you come back and speak to us again whenever you'd like to. So we'll organize that as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
But again, Irene, have you been able to unmute everyone?
Yes, everyone can unmute and say thank you. And thank you, Amy. This was a great evening. It's always wonderful.
Thank you,
to be
Irene.
with
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Have a wonderful
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
Elizabeth and Irene
Bye,
and everyone.
Thank you. Such a blessing.
Thank you.
Love to all.